My name is Messerli. I'm the founder, president, and CEO of Lenoss Medical, and been doing this for a few years. I'm excited to be here. We're combating osteoporosis with new bone. It's generally what we're doing. And how did this come about? I've been in the medical device industry for almost 30 years now. Listened to physicians and surgeons over and over again that they needed a better solution to treat spinal fractures. Something that's not a synthetic cement, something that's a biological solution to treat those fractures. So we listened and we developed a solution exactly for that, something biological to treat these osteoporotic spinal fractures. We're talking about the aging population, so the growing aging population. So it's a huge population. In the United States alone, there's close to 1 million fractures, like spinal fractures in the United States each year. So there's a lot of people that have that issue, again, especially the elderly population. And when they have those fractures, they're in severe pain. And most recent studies show that if they're not treated surgically, actually the life expectancy is shorter, mortality rate is higher. And with the surgeries, the life expectancy is expanded, which is certainly, it's great. So a million people have those fractures. Only about 200,000 are treated each year. And so there's an opportunity for more patients to be treated specifically with a solution that allows the fracture to naturally heal and without the risk associated with some of the current standard of care. The only thing that's really available today is it's called a PMMA bone cement. It's a 2-component epoxy, and that's a liquid form that's being injected. It's the only thing that's available today for these treating those fractures, and has a lot of challenges with it that the physicians and surgeons has to deal with. Even just the preparation, the clinical preparation of the bone cement, meaning they have to mix the cement and then time it right so it has the right viscosity before it's injected. Because if it's injected when it's too liquidy, then the risk of it going in the patient's hearts and lungs is even higher. If they wait too long, it gets too gooey, too hard, and you can't inject it anymore. So it's technically pretty challenging. In our case, our implant is a structural allograft bone implant. You open up the box and it's ready to go. And you don't have to time it. You take it, you insert it through the same surgical approach, no change in that. You just insert it into the spine. And once it's inside the spine, it curls up and creates a sturdy mass. And over the first 2 hours, it swells about 40%, makes it even more stable. But it swells up with the patient's own blood and nutrients. So now the allograft bone has all the nutrients it needs for new bone generation. If we just look at the spinal fractures, with the 1 million fractures that are happening, the market itself in the United States is about $600 million is the market. And that's really the market we're going in for these spinal fractures. And then certainly anything outside of that, I touched on the hip fractures, and that's a market we're just tapping into. And it's a great opportunity, but we haven't done all the market analysis yet. But we know it's an exciting market too, because it will allow the physicians to use our implant before they do a full hip replacement. So again, for some of the younger patients, they don't want a full hip replacement. They may benefit from our biological solution. And the exact market size, we have to kind of research and look into, but we know it's a great opportunity. As I mentioned, we're entering a new phase, a phase of selling, a phase of commercialization and growing. Now we're focusing on the growth, the month-over-month, quarter-over-quarter growth is what we're doing. So we're acquiring new customers, new physicians. So that's definitely a big part of what we do now. We have very set goals for this year. We want to achieve a revenue of 1.5 million this year. And we're on track to do that, it's fantastic. And the other thing we're excited about is that the physicians, as they're using our product for these spinal applications, they're coming to us and say, we have other uses of your product in other parts of the body, such as the hips or the knees. And the physicians have gone as far as actually done surgeries where they used our product in the hip. So it's a biological allograft bone implant conducive to be used in those other places, and physicians have done that. So that's one thing we're going to explore, not only on the spine side as we're growing, but also going to go in the other orthopedic areas, such as potentially hips and knees, where physicians already want to use it. So we're excited about that, and look forward to have our product make a difference for patients in those applications too. And I can even expand. One physician's approached us with conditions of patients that I've never even heard of. It's called Perthes disease, and that's for children that they have an issue with their femoral heads. They don't have blood flow in their femoral heads, and there's no solution to treat that today. The physicians approached us, said, we heard about your OsteoPearl product. We think that's the only solution we could use for these children to treat their Perthes disease. And so we just shipped some product to Mayo Clinic in Rochester for potentially then being used to treat some of these children with those issues. So we're excited about being able to expand in some other areas to help these patients, and I think that will be a good growth opportunity for us. In the last few years, that most people know, one of the hardest things was fundraising. Very difficult, very challenging. So certainly one of the milestones we're proud of, that we closed our Series A around early last year, oversubscribed. So we're super proud of that occurred. So that was certainly a big milestone. The other part was that we had the opportunity to actually hire a fantastic sales leader who was in this space for his whole career, and worked for big, large corporations such as Johnson & Johnson in that space. And he jumped on and is with us, and he's knocking it out of the park. And that's why we have good sales growth. So that was a big milestone, big deal for a small startup to get such a high caliber executive in sales, which now sales is our focus. So those are some of the key milestones, and for sure, reaching over 100 surgeries, clinical uses, that was another big milestone, that not only did we reach 100 surgeries, but all of those surgeries went really well. There's no complications, no issues. And again, the physicians are raving about it and really loving the product. So that was certainly a big milestone that we never know when you have a new product, a new clinical product, is it clinically going to work? Now we know it's definitely working. We're super excited because we're at the point we've done close to 160 surgeries, and all of them have gone fantastic. And with good patient feedback, good physician feedback, and every single new physician user that we have gotten has not looked back, and they love our product and keep using our product. So we're excited because we know now we're ready to grow. Now we're going to the growth phase is what we're doing now, which we're excited about that. A new chapter in our business, which is growing sales, and we've grown tremendously from last quarter to this quarter, over 200% growth. So we're a totally different business now. We're growing, we're selling, and we're having physicians reaching out to us. We have patients reaching out to us and said, I had 3 of those spinal surgeries already. I heard of the OsteoPearl implant. I do not want the bone cement. I want this OsteoPearl implant. And this is totally unsolicited. And we're like, okay, that's great. The big excitement is that we do see this makes a true difference for the patients. And that's what it was all about from the beginning. It's like, we knew there needed to be something better. We envisioned that this makes a difference for the patients, and now actually seeing it, that it truly does make a difference for the patients, that they're doing really well, and that the physicians like it so much that they just keep using it. This is almost, for us, is already a success. And we know as long as we do good for the patients, we know our business is going to do well. So we're excited to see what's to come.